x increases uniformly at the rate of 0.001 feet per second, at what rate is the expression 1 plus x quantity squared increasing when x equals 4? So x is increasing at what rate? So that will be the rate of change of x with respect to time, and that's 0.001 feet per second. So we are asked here the rate at which this expression is increasing. So let's say the expression is y, and that is 1 plus x quantity squared. So let's get the derivative of both sides with respect to time. So this will be dy dt is equivalent to 2 times 1 plus x, and the derivative of inside, that is dx dt. So substitute 2 times 1 plus when x is equivalent to 4, and then dx dt is 0.001. So answer here will be equivalent to 0.01, letter B. The height in feet at any time t in seconds of a projectile thrown vertically is h of t is equivalent to negative 16t squared plus 256t. When does the projectile reach the ground? Let's say this is our projectile. Then from this point on the ground up to this point, we are asked here the time t at which it hits the ground. So at the ground, our height is equivalent to 0. So meaning our h of t here is equivalent to negative 16t squared plus 256t. And when my h is 0, the time will be, using our quadratic formula, t is either 16 or 0. So obviously 0 is the initial point we're in before throwing, and after 16 seconds it will reach the ground again. So answer is 16 seconds. A box is to be constructed from a piece of zinc 20 inch by cutting equal squares from each corner and turning up the zinc to form the side. What is the volume of the largest box that can be constructed? So let's say this is our original square. Then we want to cut equal squares on each corner. So originally, the length of each side is 20 inches. And we want to cut squares on either side. So let's say the edge of each square is x. So meaning, if we fold this box, the new edge here will be 20 minus x or 2x. If we fold this down, so this will become like this. A box of 20 minus 2x on either side, and the height is x. So meaning the volume is equivalent to the area of the base, and that's 20 minus 2x squared times the height x. So let's expand this expression. That will be 400 minus 80x plus 4x squared. Multiply them again by x, so that will be 400x minus 80x squared plus 4x cubed. That will be our volume. So let's get the derivative of that expression with respect to x, and that will be 400 minus 160x plus 12x squared. And to find the maximum value, first derivative must be equal to 0. So x here will be either 10 or 10 over 3. If we substitute 10 here, the volume will be 0 because the square here will be too large. So we will not be using this one because it is too big as our height. So we will be using the another value, 10 over 3. And we will substitute that x in either of these values of x. So volume will be 400 times 10 over 3 minus 80 times 10 over 3 squared plus 4 10 over 3 cubed. What is our volume? So that will be 592.59 cubic inches. Given the following profit versus production function of a certain commodity, P is equivalent to 200,000 minus X minus 1.1 over 1 plus X raised to 8. Where P is the profit and X is unit of production, determine the maximum profit. So one solution is to get the first derivative. But actually, when we inspect our function, if we substitute any value of positive X here, the profit will decline. So meaning, as X increases, the profit decreases. So the maximum profit here will be when my X is 0. So when my X is 0 here, so this will be 0. And then we remove this one also. So this original constant here will be our maximum profit. So let's use this one, and our maximum profit will be 200,000. The height in feet at any time t in seconds of a projectile thrown vertically is h of t is negative 16t squared plus 256t. How fast is the projectile traveling 10 seconds after it was thrown? So velocity is the first derivative of our height function. So putting that in our calculator and change t into x, what's the first derivative? When x equals 10, that will be negative 64 feet per second. Evaluate the integral of sine of x raised to 6 times cosine x raised to 5 from 0 to pi over 2. So mode radians and then press the function in your calculator. Integral from 0 to pi over 2. Answer is 8 over 690. Find the volume obtained if the region bounded by y equals x squared and y equals 2x is rotated about the x-axis. So let's find first where the two functions intersect. So equate the 2y. So that will be x squared is equal to 2x. Shift solve, x will be 0 to 2. So this will be the limits of our function. And volume is the pi times the integral of r squared dx. And this is what we call the this method. And r is also L, and that's also y up minus y down. So the good thing about absolute value is that you can interchange which is y up and y down, meaning you don't have to draw the figure. So let's say y up is x squared and y down is 2x, and then quantity squared from 0 to 2 and multiply pi on the outside. Answer will be 64 pi over 15. If there is an error of 10.04 centimeter in the measurement of the diameter, then what is the approximate percent error in its volume when radius is 10? So the error in diameter is 10.04 cm. So let's say the error in radius will be half of that. So that will be 5.02 cm. We want to find the percent error in the volume. So that will be dV over V when radius is equal to 10. So we have here the volume of our sphere as 4/3 pi r cubed. Let's get the differential of both sides. That will be dv is equal to 4 pi r squared dr. And then let's say we get over v here and volume is 4/3 pi r cubed. Cancel pi, cancel 4, cancel r squared here. So this will be equivalent to dv over v is 3 dr over r. So 3 was our dr, that's 5.02 over the radius of 10. So this is equivalent to what value? This is 1.506. So no answer in our choices, but the answer in the answer key is letter C. Find the area bounded by the curve y squared plus 2x minus 2y minus t equals 0 and the y-axis. So let's say we get the equation of x here. So this will be y squared minus 2y minus 3 all over our 2. So that will be our x here. And then let's equate this into 0 since y-axis is x equals 0. So the values of y will be -1 and 3. Area is the integral of the absolute value of L, which is x right minus x left. And then the limit will be from -1 to 3. What is our area? That will be 16 over 3 square units. At the point of inflection where x equals a, f of a is not equal to 0.